Soft, didn't even fight back. That's what made me mad. You cheated with this lame since 2022. You cheated with numerous others before that. You can't keep your legs closed, Rem. So you want to downplay me as an artist when I wrote one of your biggest hits. 90% of her music, I wrote it since I've been around her. So on another day, I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them.
For years now, Remy Ma and Papoose were hip-hop's royal couple, Black Love Incarnate, and he held her down through a 6-year bid like he was auditioning for Sainthood. She came home and the two of them made love and loyalty look like a mixtape masterpiece. But now, those roses is dead, the petals are scattered all over Instagram Live. Because guess what? Papoose didn't just file for divorce, he came with the receipts, court documents, screenshots, a full-on expose of Miss Remy Ma. And y'all, he ain't just accused Remy of cheating with another man, he's accusing her of cheating with another woman in their house with their daughter in the next room. And just when you thought that it couldn't get any messier, he dropped another bomb. He wrote 90% of her raps allegedly. Yes ma'am, Miss Remy Ma, the Bronx-bred battle queen, ghostwritten by her own husband? If that's true, then we're not just talking about heartbreak, we're talking about a legacy collapsing. But wait y'all, cause Remy wasn't about to let that slide. She clapped back like a freight train on 1 hour on IG Live, dragging him for filth, accusing Papoose of being a broke boy, messy, controlling, and more obsessed with his image than his child. She said he pawned her jewelry. She said he ain't been sleeping in her bed for 3 years and she's been ready for that divorce and he just been stalling. So now the whole world's watching the collapse of what used to be hip-hop's most loyal love story. But this ain't just about he said, she said. This is about what got them there. And the spoiler alert, it starts with a young, undefeated, very outspoken female boxer who decided to speak her truth on the world's biggest radio stage. And if you want to know what really made Remy Ma lock off mommy duty and hop on live with her hair wrapped and her heart on fire, The Breakfast Club. Enter Clarissa Shields, Olympic gold medalist, professional boxer, and depending on who you ask, Papoose's new boo. She pulled up to the Breakfast Club looking real calm, confident, and ready.
And we had been texting back and forth and stuff like that. But he's really he's not hard to read, but he's very like private throughout the text. And so he like, I just want to talk to you in person. So when we talked in person, that's when I was like, dang, I kind of like this dude. And he just was like so kind, so nice. And I think we had a conversation before, like, do like bad boys to good boys. I like a good guy. Don't be all that nonchalant, suck up, you the prize. Get the hell away from me, please.
Y'all, she didn't have to say Remy's name. She let the timeline speak for itself, because when Clarissa said, we fall asleep on the phone every night. For 4 months straight, we talked from sun up to sundown. Yeah, that wasn't just tea, that was a pot boiling over with receipts. So let's rewind a little bit. According to Clarissa, she and Papoose started talking early in 2023. And no, she didn't know him just as Remy Ma's husband. She knew him as a kind, respectful man who took her out to eat in New York, FaceTimed her every night, and talked about having kids. She said she's 30 and ready for a family. And while Pap wasn't technically divorced, he told her the marriage was over. And Clarissa believed him. Why? Well, because he was consistent, truthful, and she made it clear, I'm not married, so I'm not the one who needs to handle that.
You said there's some things he needs to handle? What do you mean by that?
Say it again?
You said earlier there's some things Pat needs to handle?
Oh, I mean, yeah, it's the elephant in the room. I don't have to say it.
I don't know.
In his personal life.
Oh,
yeah, it's the elephant in the
okay.
room. Like,
Yeah.
but that takes time, and like I said, that's not my place to speak on. You know what I'm saying? Like, it'll get handled. I just know that from my perspective, I'm with him every day, and when I'm not with him, we're on the phone every day, and we're talking, and we're FaceTiming, and you know, we love each other. So that's just kind of what it is. You know what I'm saying? But hey, it's a situation, and it is what it is.
I'm assuming you mean like you want to wait till the divorce is like official. Did that hold you? Did that keep you from like giving your all?
No. Not because we're together all the time.
Well, here's the real gag, though. She's talking like she's really in love, and she didn't just slide into Papoose's life with a post a couple of soft launch selfies. No, sis told the world she was living her best life with Pap since August, and she said it with the type of calm only a secure woman would have. No shame, no fear, just vibes, and the same thing on Pap's end.
We just sit and chill, eat and watching Michael B. Jordan. That movie sent us ill. When the love is genuine, you can tell it's a different feel. Babyface was right on that song. She got that whipping feel.
Whoa!
Stole her heart like a ball player. I be getting steals, and I pay for it in full. We don't split the bill. This ain't that fake vibe that you used to. It's real. I'm so allergic to fake people. I need some Benadryl. If we were slaves, y'all would be house in the field.
And that was what exactly triggered Remy, because when Clarissa interview dropped, people started talking, saying Remy fumbled a loyal man, calling Clarissa the upgrade, and whispering that maybe Remy was just bitter, washed up, or jealous. And you know Remy heard that, because within hours she was on live with a full-blown monologue accusing Pap of lying, manipulating, and letting his new fling play dress up in the house she paid for. She said the Black Love brand was his hustle, not hers.
Listen. I know what people care about. That man, he cares about what y'all think. I don't care about what y'all think. Like, not, unfortunately, not trying to be funny. I appreciate my fans and people that are actually my fans and that love me. You understand? But I don't care what people think. Can't nobody with a revolving door on a coochie tell me I'm for the streets. I've been with the same man. I was with the same man for almost 20 years. Can't nobody tell me I'm for the street and make me feel some type of way.
And Clarissa, she wasn't even worth mentioning. But here's the truth. Clarissa may not have spilled much tea, but her presence alone shattered the illusion. This wasn't just Remy Ma losing her man. This was Remy Ma losing the narrative too. And in a game where image is everything, that hurt deeper than any betrayal. Remy Ma went live and let it rip too. And baby, she didn't just air out dirty laundry. She threw the whole hamper at Papoose. It started off calm like a woman who was tired but still trying to keep it classy.
Are you crazy? Can't nobody tell me, oh, you fumbled it. It's so funny watching people like, you had a good husband. He's only had one wife. The only person that can tell y'all if he's a good husband or not. And when he was, I told y'all that. I told y'all. When she was cool, when she was like, when it was what I thought it was, I kept it a bean.
She said they hadn't shared a bed since May 2022. She said she tried to stay quiet and out of respect for their daughter, but then the calm cracked wide open.
Bad enough, you got my daughter's mom out here looking crazy because you refuse to tell people, hey, me and Rem haven't even slept in the same bed since May 2022. You don't want to tell nobody that. You were so wrapped up in the whole Black Love thing. That was your thing. That was the only thing you had. And I realized that. And I respected that. You know what? I don't need to be out here telling people you ain't this and you ain't got this and you ain't doing this and you ain't that. Whoever get you, they'll see. They'll see. I seen one of these. She was like, she said there was others. Who are they? I want to know. Do your own homework.
Just like that, the gloves were off. Remy accused Papoose of using their marriage for clout, of refusing to sign divorce papers because Black Love brand was all he had. She claimed she already hired a lawyer last year, that everything was signed and ready. The only holdup, Pap had him retain counsel because, in her words, he can't afford to.
Because the person that I married in 2008, that's not who this is now. Now he's a wife. Listen. This is what I would like. Papoose, you have my lawyer's information. If you can't afford to retain a lawyer, since your lawyer that the number you gave us has not been retained yet, I told you I'll pay for it. If somebody over there that loves you wants to pay for it, great. That will make me happy. Everything is signed and ready to go. I don't want nothing. I'm not even asking for child support.
Well, she said she didn't want a dime. No child support, no spousal support, no cars, no jewelry, except the pieces he allegedly pawned. Yes, y'all. Remy said that she went to the police because she was missing insured jewelry, and she filed a whole complaint. And when the folks started clowning her for involving the cops, she said, what would you do if someone ran off with your Cartier and you had the paperwork to prove it? But it didn't stop there. She dragged Clarissa without saying her name, calling her a downgrade, implying that she was homeless before Pap scooped her up, and accusing Papoose of letting that girl run her mouth online unchecked.
Oh, everyone looks so much happier now. Girl, man, don't nobody fall in love faster than somebody with nowhere to stay. I literally told him, every time your current come up says my name or does something that I feel is trying to in any type of way, I'ma drag you. And I haven't even been dragging them. Bad enough, you got my daughter's mom out here looking crazy because you refuse to tell people.
Well, Remy claimed that Pap was trying to flip the script and paint her out as some bitter villain, and when really, she'd been done. She even offered to pay for his lawyer just to get this divorce wrapped up and out the way.
I don't need anything. Stop making these people think that I'm stopping you or anybody from being happy. I want to be happy. I want to be happy. I want to be able to walk out. I literally had somebody, I swear to you, somebody came up and was like, just stay strong, girl. I'm like,
the most painful part though, she talked about being there for his other kids, even when he wasn't sure if they were biologically his, paying for bills from prison, sending gifts, and holding it down financially while raising their youngest daughter.
Somebody said, first of all, it's not about loving somebody, hating somebody, giving somebody, niggas got clout because of you. Listen, I know what I needed to do. There was no way. It's my house because I paid for it. All 1.3 whatever it was, I paid in cash with my name on it only. So yes, you understand? And if you're the one, I take care of the kid, I take care of it, so I stay here. You go, you move over here. You moved on, great.
It was bitter, it was sad, it was raw, and it was clear that Remy wasn't just lashing out. She was mourning the death of an image that she built with him, a fantasy that sold to the world and turned into a trap. But just when the dust settled, well, if Remy went to scorch earth, Papoose went nuclear. He hopped on Instagram Live with a quiet rage, looking like a man who had had enough, and the first thing out of his mouth, she mentioned my daughter, so now I'm talking. And talk, he did.
Didn't even fight back. That's what made me mad. You cheated with numerous others before that. You can't keep your legs closed, Rem. So you want to downplay me as an artist. And I wrote one of your biggest hits.
Well, Pap said Remy hadn't let them see their child in months. Claimed she was weaponizing custody and pretending that he was an absent dad.
She's staying out on days my daughter got to go to school. My daughter's calling, she's not answering the phone. It's like crackhead behavior. I go to where I got an idea where they at. When I walk in the room, they in their lovey-dovey. Mom! Right in his mouth off the muscle. He hit the floor like a sack of potatoes.
Then came the bombshell. He caught Remy in bed with another woman while their daughter was there.
She had a certain individual who she was locked up with. It's a female. I ain't think nothing of it. So I caught her with this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them.
A former inmate friend, he said. Now, someone who had stayed at their house multiple times, and when he walked in on the two of them late one night, the woman bolted, and Remy blamed him for misunderstanding. Let him tell it. This wasn't about Remy being into women. He said, I don't judge, but don't lie. Don't bash others for their lifestyle and then turn around and hide your own truth. And then, y'all, he came for the crown.
You want to downplay me as an artist? I wrote one of your biggest hits. I wrote 90% of the music since I've been with her. And if you type a keyword from any one of her verses, it pops up in my phone with the date that I wrote it.
Yeah, you heard that right. 90% of Remy's raps written by him. From the punchlines to the flows, he said he never asked for credit because she was his wife. He wanted her to shine, but now that she was out here clowning his pockets, he was pulling the pin.
This is a person who will sit in front of you. She will post that live, and she'll say later, I didn't do that. I wasn't on live. You'll be sitting there like, huh? She will say something to you and 10 minutes later say, I never said that. Everybody, and I don't want to talk bad about her, man. That's something that I never wanted to do. That's why when this took place, when she first got caught cheating with the lame, I brought it to her attention.
Then he showed draft emails of lyrics, claimed he created her entire comeback narrative post-prison, even sacrificing chunks of his own fees on Love and Hip Hop to boost hers. And he wasn't done. She cheated on me with Easy the Block Captain, then lied, went to therapy, told the therapist she cut it off, then went right back to him. By the way, Remy did confirm that that's true. Now, Pap claimed that Remy was living a double life, staying out all night, lying about her whereabouts, even getting a secret apartment 40 minutes away where she'd shack up with whoever she pleased. But Pap, he stayed. For the sake of their daughter, he said he only filed for divorce now because Remy pushed him too far. But Pap didn't stop at calling her a liar. He went even deeper, claiming that she wasn't just over him, she was over men altogether. And the real betrayal, in Pap's words, if she truly cared about her daughter, she wouldn't have carried on with her secret lover in the same house, let alone in the same room. But that wasn't just cheating, y'all. Sounds like emotional neglect.
With this individual in our house while my daughter was on the bed with them. Ended up catching it. Now, this individual is a female, so I can't do nothing to her.
But this is where the fans are really split. Was Papoose telling his truth or weaponizing words like bipolar and gay to tear her down? Was he hurt or just vindictive? But one thing's for sure, two things for certain. This wasn't about love no more. This was war, and both sides were throwing grenades. Now, after all that screaming, hooting, hollering, crying, and dragging, and ghostwriting claims, somebody finally did some paperwork, and Papoose filed for divorce. And how did the world find out? Not through lawyers, not through TMZ, but through Instagram stories, because naturally, the most intimate, gut-wrenching split in hip-hop had to be announced like a brunch reservation. But Papoose posted a screenshot of the court filing, a $325 receipt from the New Jersey Superior Court with one smug caption. If it was that easy, why hasn't she done it? Hashtag pump faking. He went on with his explanation. The only reason I haven't filed previously is for the sake of my daughter. She has to go to school. When two individuals behave like civilized adults, you can get a divorce peacefully and privately, and that was my intention. And y'all, he ended with one more bombshell. But actions speak louder than lies. You just called me yesterday trying to get back with me, and I said no. Y'all, these actions speak louder than lies, true, but we just don't know who's capping at this point. So now Remy's story about having filed last year and just waiting for his signature was being put on blast, and it got people talking. Because if Pap just submitted his paperwork, how could hers have already been in the system? Did she lie? Did her lawyer fumble? Or was Pap just playing the media better? Well, fans started choosing sides. Team Pap said that he was just protecting his daughter's privacy and finally snapped when Remy dragged his name. And Team Remy is saying that Pap only filed once Remy saw him moving on with Clarissa Shields. The same Clarissa who popped off on social media the minute that filing dropped, telling Remy to sign those papers, miss. But even with the ink not even dried yet, neither side was letting go. Remy jumped back online with new receipts, text messages showing Papoose texting her from Africa, still trying to make conversation about the weather and sending videos of their daughter like everything was sweet. She posted this on Instagram stories, addressing directly to Clarissa. If you just turned 30 and allegedly just met someone 8 months ago that is a 47 years old that I knew since you were 10, and he has 4 biological children and currently promising you a newborn while finally agreeing to divorce, please refrain from speaking. Meanwhile, Papoose was on live accusing her of lesbian threesomes in front of their kid and ghostwriting slander. This ain't no divorce, y'all. It's scorched the earth time. And the caught in the middle of it all is a 6-year-old little girl who didn't ask for none of it. And y'all, just imagine what she might be going through right now. But let's keep it a buck. Remy and Papoose were never just a couple, they were a brand. The Black Love poster children, the fairy tale, the blueprint. Every time Remy walked the red carpet, Pap was right there dapping her up like a manager, grinning like a man who never left. He visited her in prison, he wrote her letters, he got her a skeleton key, he helped raise her kids, he even stayed monogamous during her 6-year sentence, allegedly. And for a generation of fans who had never seen love that loyal, they were kind of a miracle. But now that miracle is cracking under the weight of pawn slips, cheating accusations, and trauma on display for the entire internet. And the worst part, they're not just unraveling privately, they're weaponizing every piece of their shared past. And Pap's saying that he wrote Remy's raps and that she's been lying about her sexuality for years, and Pap says she kept him from his daughter. And Remy says Pap couldn't afford a divorce until she offered to pay for it. It's like watching a love song play in reverse. Every bar just gets darker the longer it plays, and all that Black Love merch, might as well throw it out the window, because whether or not they once loved each other, the fact remains they sold that love on TV, in interviews, on stage, and they made it a product. And now that packaging is busted and the public wants a refund. Now we got a woman who's saying she's done it all alone, a man who says she owes him everything, and a little girl growing up in a world where her parents' entire breakup is time-stamped on the public. But what happens when a relationship goes, you grew up and started to tear each other down? When love becomes content and when the lies ain't even hidden no more, they're marketed. Now I gotta ask y'all though, do you think that Remy Ma really cheated with the woman while her daughter was in the same bed and next room? Or is Pap just spinning the narrative to humiliate her? And if Papoose did ghostwrite her biggest verses, should he have stayed quiet, or was he right to finally speak his truth? And here's the big one. Did Black Love ever really exist between these two, or was it just a brand from the beginning? Let me know what side you're on too. Team Remy or Team Pap or Team Poor That Baby Girl. But if you made it this far, then you know what to do. Smash that like button, subscribe for more celebrity breakdowns, and turn on your notifications, because I'm bringing you the truth, the mess, and the real story every single time. Until next time, drop your thoughts and comments below, and then check out this next video.